Ladies and gentlemen, before I deliver my speech, I'd like you all to close your eyes and recall a moment from the past of your first time speaking in public. Now, judges and audience, let me ask you, what did you feel at that moment? If I had to guess, I'd say you felt your heart beating rapidly, your hands were starting to tremble, you could feel cold sweat about to trickle down your forehead. You couldn't hear anything quite clearly because it just seems like something is blocking your ear, and it also sort of feels like the world is spinning. For a majority of you, I'm sure I've gotten at least one of these correct because I too have experienced these before. And let me tell you, I was far from great, aka where I am now when I first started, because I actually have social anxiety. I remember the first time I've ever spoken in public, and it was during a speech competition preparation back in 7th grade. My English teacher had told me to go in front of the class and deliver my speech as practice for the competition, and let's just say I was a wreck. I think I spent a good 5 minutes just standing there in front of my peers not knowing what to do. But in the end, I eventually delivered my speech with shaky hands, and my teacher made it evident I was long from ready. But you know what? After weeks of practice, actual tears, and sweat, I did it, and although I didn't win that specific competition, it's understandable since it was my first time. However, I did participate in more and more competitions, and not to brag, but I won each one I participated in for the past 2 years. So now, ladies and gentlemen, you might be wondering, how can a person with social anxiety be so good at public speaking? Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Firyal from As-Shofa Islamic Junior High School, and today I'll be showing you a way to speak in public dauntlessly with my speech that is titled, Overcoming the Fear of Public Speaking. Ladies and gentlemen, I do apologize for that long intro. However, let's be honest here, it was the perfect opening for this certain topic. But anyways, back to the main subject. I'm sure some of you are already aware the reason why we fear public speaking so much, or why we get so anxious in that situation, is normally because we're afraid to get judged. We're afraid of what other people might think about us. And obviously the thing about being afraid of what others think is being curious as to their actual thoughts. And in that situation, normally millions of questions would be running around in your mind, overwhelming you. Due to that, some of you might think that, oh, well then all I need to do is just not think about what other people think of me. However, that is actually a bad idea because then you'll only be doing the opposite due to your mind being caught in a loop. What you should be doing is look at other people. Really look at them. Observe them in your head, and no, ladies and gentlemen, it won't make things worse because actually, when you look at them, you can have a better idea of what's going on inside their head, then no more questions in yours. Most people already have the ability to socialize even when they're highly introverted. They are usually capable of talking to someone one-on-one. Why is that? Because they look at them. A majority of introverts are afraid of talking to a group of people. Well, then don't talk to a group of people. Talk to individuals. Individuals reflect the whole group to you because they're all entrained. You look at one person and they just broadcast to you what everyone's thinking. You all know how to speak to one person, so as you focus on that person, you push your attention outwards using your eye. If we're talking in real life and I'm hunching down and I'm looking away, I won't know what you think of me, and I won't know what you do next. However, judges and audience, it is no doubt that no one overcomes a certain fear that quickly or easily. Even though you're slowly but surely doing it, I'm sure as a fellow person with social anxiety, you'd still have some doubts. The only way to fully overcome it and to assure yourself completely is to become a good public speaker and acknowledge yourself as a good public speaker. It may be hard, especially for someone with social anxiety, but it is possible. So here are some small but impactful tips on becoming a good public speaker. First, body language. If you're afraid of going completely still or making weird movements in front of the audience, then practice in front of a mirror before a performance and align your movements in a way that interprets your message or make it more impactful, but also smooth and natural. Second, vocals. If you're afraid of your voice cracking mid-speech or it not being loud enough, then do some vocal exercises before and don't forget to clear your throat. And third, eye contact. Eye contact is so important because not only is it part of audience engagement, but also because it turns on your automatic mechanisms. And once they're turned on, you stop being awkward. Once you stop being awkward, you gain confidence, and through confidence, you're able to assert dominance. And through dominance, that's how you become a good public speaker. By letting other people know you're here, you have a voice, and your opinions matter. By making others listen to you and really process your message. So in conclusion, ladies and gentlemen, overcoming a certain fear is possible as long as you're willing to step out of your comfort zone. Anything is possible as long as you believe in yourself and have the courage to try. It may be hard to swallow, but as difficult as it is stepping out of your comfort zone, it'll be more difficult living without fear for the rest of your life. Sometimes the walls that are keeping you from great things aren't walls, they're you. Well, ladies and gentlemen, that pretty much wraps it up for my speech. Thank you all so much for listening. Wassalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.